My dad's making fun of me for not having a Valentine date. Have you ever watched a movie that just kind of messed with you? I recently watched a movie that did that to me. I've not been able to stop thinking about it ever since I watched that movie, and it's driven me to the point where I need to make this video. I really wanted to like Earwig and the Witch. It's a Studio Ghibli movie. I've enjoyed plenty of the other ones. I honestly can't think of a Studio Ghibli movie that I haven't enjoyed. Earwig and the Witch, on the other hand, I can't say the same about. It. How do I put this into words? It's just not good. I went into the movie with relatively high expectations. Obviously, it's a Studio Ghibli movie, why wouldn't you? From the very start of the movie, you notice something's different. The biggest glaring difference between this movie and any of the other ones is that it's a 3D animated movie. It doesn't look good. Honestly, I don't have any issues with 3D animation. I love 3D animation. Just look at all of the Pixar movies. Sure, they're not all my favorite, but you have to admit, they look really nice. Even from the very first Toy Story movie all the way up through friggin' Cars 3. And even their newest movie, Soul, all 3D animated, all really nice to look at. Earwig and the Witch is not. The character models, the settings, they're all just bland. The story, it doesn't really make sense. I've watched this movie 2 or 3 times now just to make this video, just so I can feel like I can capture what's going on in the movie. Hot, 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 hot. I'm gonna let that cool down over here. We'll start with characters. You have Earwig. Even though she's not called Earwig, you have Earwig's mom, which we don't really see throughout the movie. We see her right at the beginning and right at the end. You have the big witch lady. I don't remember what her name is. And then you've got the Manticore or Mandrake. Mandrake is his name. Which is weird. It'd be like someone being named human, because I'm pretty sure a Mandrake is a specific kind of magical creature and not a name. Be like, oh hey, there's Steve, there's Bob, and then there's human. Well, it doesn't really matter in the whole scheme of things. The whole movie doesn't really make sense. So those are really the main characters out of the whole movie. I feel like I don't know any of the characters at all by the end of the movie. At most, I would say you get to know Earwig, but that's really only on the surface level. This movie doesn't really go deep. I guess I'll get started with the story now. You start off with Earwig and her mother being chased on the highway. We don't know who's chasing Earwig's mother, but we do know that she's a witch because she pulls a lock of her hair, turns into a bunch of worms, and she flings it to whoever is chasing her. The very next scene completely slows down. We're at an orphanage. Earwig's mother drops her off and just books it out of there. The caretakers change her name from Earwig to Erica, and we never hear that name Earwig ever again. At least referred to her. A little bit into the movie, we finally meet the antagonist. I guess this movie is so confusing. I really don't know who these people are. They're obviously not good people when they walk into the orphanage to adopt Erica, because the mood shifts a little bit. The fat witch lady's got this mean old scowl, and the mandrake is super distant, just kind of looks mean. They end up adopting Erica for some reason. It's not really explained why they adopted her out of everybody else. There were so many kids that would have much rather have been adopted than her. They stand in front of Erica and they're like, she's the one. And that's that. When the Fat Witch and the Mandrake get Erica home, the Fat Witch immediately tells Erica that she is a witch, and she just kind of accepts it. Anyway, the witch starts not even teaching the magic. She just starts doing whatever bubble, toil, and trouble kind of magic that she does, forcing Erica to help her along the way, whether that be crush up little critter bones into powder, picking plants, leaves, and stuff for the potions, and just generally treating Erica badly. The rest of the movie is the witch forcing Erica to do all of the chores for what felt like several hours of the movie. This movie's only like an hour and a half long, but this section of the movie felt like 2 or 3 hours. It was crazy boring. Every once in a while, Erica would speak out and be like, "Hey, you need to teach me how to do magic." And the witch is like, "No, I don't." And that's the end of the argument, like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. So, what feels like an eternity later, the movie comes to a close. There's no character development. I know absolutely nothing about any of said characters. And there was no real conflict. The one bit of conflict near the end gets resolved quicker than it started. It happens so fast that I got whiplash. And it just never gets explained. And that just feels like the entire movie. Things happen, and then before you realize they happen, they end. And it's not fun. I don't know how to end this. I guess I'll just end it the same way that Earwig and the Witch ended.